Okay, in my humble opinion, I believe Masterplan is one of the best in-the-box mastering plugins ever made. Like, for real, for real. And now they just went ahead and gave us a brand new update, so it's even better. So today we're going to be using Masterplan with the new update so you guys can see how this thing is looking and how it sounded. So let's go ahead and get to it. Bolo! All right, now before we get started with this video, make sure you guys go ahead and check out sounds.com. You can go ahead and click that link in the description. They have a whole bunch of stuff for your studio on their site that does not require no credit or background check. Now, it's not everything on the site, but it is a whole bunch of stuff on the site that you guys can go ahead and order today, get it shipped to you, and you can just pay it off in monthly installments, and you don't have to do a credit or background check. So if you need some equipment, just go ahead and click that link in the description and go ahead and head over to sounds.com today. Also, you guys know I rock with analog cases. They make the best cases to protect your musical needs, but they actually have another product that you guys might want to get. It is their XTS stands. They have a big stand and they have a smaller stand. These stands are professional and they are very low price for what you are getting. I use my stand mainly for my MPC Live 2, but you can use it with other pieces of equipment. And I'm telling you right now, these stands will protect your gear. It is a very professional grade quality stand and they're made for professional users. So if you guys want to get you a very good quality stand for your music equipment, go ahead and click my link in the description and check out the XTS stands from Analog Cases right now. All right, so Masterplan has a new update and I'm actually very excited. And they came with some new improvements, like some faster graphics. Also, they did some under the hood improvements. But really what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a few things that I actually like about the plugin. Of course, I already made a video about this, but since the update came out, I want to make another one. And I just wanna show you a few things if you did not see the other video that I did on this actual plugin. So let's go ahead and open it up and master a track real quick. All right, so we are now in Studio One and I have Masterplan pulled up. If you guys wanna update your already existing Masterplan, go ahead and click on that little gear icon and it will say update right here. Just click on it, you can update it. And then once you update it, make sure you close down the program that you got this opened up in. I'm in Studio One. I had to close it down and I reopened it and everything was all good. And of course, right here in the little settings part back here, you can go ahead and change the faceplate. I got mine on black and you can do all your settings in here as well. Now, one of the main things I like about Masterplan is if you've never used a plugin like this, if you hover over any one of these dials or whatever, any one of these wheels, the buttons or whatever, it will tell you what's going on. Right here, we're over the input gain and they actually added something a little extra for us on the input gain right here. So if we actually have a signal that is coming in too hot and it starts distorting a little bit, then this will light up and let you know right here. So I'm gonna play this beat real quick and I don't even think I have this engaged right now, but let me make sure I have everything engaged first. Let me just turn it on right now and let me go ahead and play the beat and then I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna play it from about right here and I'll show you what's going on. Play it from about right here. Nothing lit up right here because everything is not peaking, basically. It's not hitting over zero. And usually when stuff does not hit over zero, we don't have like a distorted sound unless you have like a distorted sound already inside of the track. Now I'm gonna show you guys how this thing would sound if this thing is distorted peaking in, and I'm gonna show you guys what happens if you have a track that is too loud and it starts peaking. It's gonna let you know. So let's play this. And we're gonna turn this up. I turned it up all the way. I still have my track at a very low volume, but as you guys can see, it started letting me know that the track is peaking. Now, it can happen two ways. It can happen if you add too much gain to it or if the track is already too loud. If it does that, just pull it back. We want to get it as loud as possible, but we still need to have headroom to add other stuff to the track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this back at 0, and then we're going to start adding some stuff to it. But before we do that, I'm going to show you guys another thing in here that I really like what they did with this update. As you guys can see, they have this tape button right here. Originally, if you went over this tape button, they had like a different menu in here. With this tape button now, all you have to do is click on it, and if you hovered over it, it's going to tell you what's going to happen. Right now, it's at 50-50 tight, 50% warm. Okay, so it's 50-50, 50 tight, 50 warm. If you go this way, if you slide this way, your beat is going to sound tighter. It's going to sound sharper. If you go this way, it's going to be warmer, and it's going to have that warmer tone, smoother tone, but it's going to be a lot warmer that way, okay? So let's go ahead and let me play you this. I'm going to show you guys the difference with just that right there. So let's do that. The more we went to the left, it got tighter. We lost a little bit of that bottom end, but it still sounded very good, very crisp. But then when we went towards that warmer side, you started to hear that warm texture, warm sound, but we didn't have as much top end. So a lot of times with the tape, I would turn it on, and a lot of times I would actually go ahead and just keep it like at 48, 54, just very small increments to kind of give it that warmth, but keep the tightness in it. But I kind of like to have it a little warmer with me. Now, another thing that they did is the true peak, they made sure that they didn't add any type of distortion or anything to the true peak. Some of you guys were saying that you heard some distortion with the true peak. They went ahead and fixed that. Also, they fixed the problem with FL. You know, FL Studio, it can be a little finicky with some of these plugins. They went ahead and fixed that so you guys can see all the presets and everything, and it works fine inside of FL. And they fixed it with a few other programs as well. But right now, everything is working very well with this plugin. Now, if you never even did any mastering and you want to just go ahead and get started, let's just say, for instance, you don't know anything about it, you can actually go right here to the default and click on Quick Master, okay? You click on that, and then it'll set you to a Quick Master. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the unity gain on so you guys can hear what the master is doing rather than hearing how loud it is. This is another thing that I really like about this this plugin is because they have the unity gain on here. That way you can make your changes, hear what you're changing without the volume affecting your perception of what this thing actually sounds like. So I'm gonna turn the unity gain on, and then I'm gonna go ahead and press play. So let's see how it sounds. All right, sounds pretty cool. As you guys can see, they added a little bit of low end to it. They added a little bit of high end to it as well. They added a little bit of saturation to the circuit. They cleaned up a little bit around the low mids right there with the clean function right here. They didn't do multi-band compression. They didn't add any like gentle compression to it. They added a little calm to it, you know what I'm saying, where it reduces like the harshness and the buildup, you know, especially after doing some stuff like inside of the box. You know, some of these plugins can get a little harsh and a little sharpy, as I like to call it, a little sharpy. That way you can calm those frequencies down. And then that's pretty much about it. So let's go ahead and take it off the unity. I'm going to click on and off between the unity on and off so you guys can hear the difference with the actual loudness. So let's go ahead and play it. And then just like that, you have a track that is pretty much mastered. They add some stereo width to it. Sounds great. Now, let's just say, for instance, you kind of know what you're doing. We can go right back here. We can go right back into default. And then you can go ahead and add all the stuff that you want to add in there. And like I said before, you can just hover over anything and it explains to you what is going on. So if you're having problems with your master, you can just hover over it and then you can make your changes and you'll know what is going on because it tells you right here at the bottom, high EQ, gently add or remove air, add and crisp high end, okay? Low, gently add or remove warmth and low end. Lets you know. You got the loud button right here. Increases loudness with a spectral limiter and clipper circuit. So this is a limiter and a clipper at the same time, which is crazy. You have the wide, enhance the stereo sound stage without making the sound feel far away. Okay, then you have all of this stuff right here. You can turn on different listening formats. So like you got the NS10s, you got it to where you can make it sound like a phone, a band, mono, a dim, okay, where it turns it down low. The NS10s are supposed to sound like how NS10s sound. You guys know about NS10s, they bring that mid-range up so you'll know how things are sounding really in that mid-range. And on NS10s, usually if it sounds good on there, it sounds pretty much good anywhere. And then of course, like your phone, because a lot of times we're on the phone and we listen to a lot of stuff via the phone. So we have a phone setting on here as well. I usually leave mine off because I kind of know how my stuff sounds. But with that being said, it has that in here, and then that way you can use that to your advantage if you're trying to really go in and master a track. So let's go ahead and listen to this. I'm going to turn this on Unity, and I'm going to show you guys something, right? Let's just say, for instance, we have a track that's already kind of hot, right? So let's go ahead and turn this up to right here. Let's turn it all the way up so it's kind of hot. All right? So what we can do with that situation, we're going to turn that down to about right here. We turn it about 2.5 dBs down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to push this limiter. And with the Unity on, we're going to be able to hear what the limiter is doing to our track. And when I push this up, you're going to hear a difference in the Unity. Woo. Oh, and as you guys can see, the LUFS readings are they're like, you don't want that. You don't want those problems right there. So as you guys can see, it's very distorted, and that's with the Unity on. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, you might want to turn your speakers down or whatever. I'm going to turn the Unity off why this thing is like this. I'm going to show you guys why the Unity button is one of the best things you can have on any type of mastering plugin so you guys can hear what's going on before you turn this thing up. So let's go ahead and go back and forth between that. Oh, that's way too loud. And as you guys can see right here, you got the LUFS, you have the short-term LUFS, and then you have the integrated LUFS. Short-term lets you know pretty much how loud it is in the short term for like every 3 seconds, I think they have on here. And then you have the integrated, which is pretty much how much the whole song on the average loudness of the song. I like to use LUFS because it gives me the most accurate reading of how loud a song is. Once you get to around that -9 range, -8-ish, -9, you're in a good, safe range, okay, for loudness. Like if you're really trying to get that loudness. Sometimes I don't even go that low. Sometimes I go to maybe like -10, maybe 10.5 to kind of get the loudest I need. We're not in the big loudness wars like that anymore, so we don't really necessarily need all that. So let's go ahead and turn this down real quick. Still a little distortion in there, right? So what we can do, turn this down. All right, so it's hitting around by -12, right? And I think a lot of y'all are like, well, you know, you want to turn up a little bit louder, but in certain situations, you might want to go ahead and turn up the highs and the lows. And the more this stuff you turn up, it affects the loudness as well. So a lot of times what I do is I don't even mess with this at first. What I do is I go through everything first, and then I will hit the actual limiter and the clipper. So what I like to do a lot of times is go through and maybe add a little bit of highs, a little bit of lows, go ahead and add a little width to that, and then thicken some things up and clean it up, and then I'll go ahead and turn it up. So let me go ahead and show you guys how fast you can master a track with Master Plan. And just like that, we have a nice clean master, and it's not even that loud. Like right here, the LUFS, I got it at 11.7. Now, a lot of times some people say, well, that's kind of low, but you gotta understand with this song, there's a lot of little peaks and stuff in there. And just to be honest, it's not the best mixed actual beat ever. Like I don't really mix that much, and I really didn't add any type of effects, anything in here. This is pretty much straight out of the MPC into here, and I just kind of turned up a few things, and that's pretty much it. I didn't really do the best mix because I wanted to show you guys how you can actually get a okay mix sounding really good with just the Master Plan. So yeah, this right here is dope. If you already have it, you already know how good this plugin is. If you don't have it, I would advise you to go ahead and get it because this thing is very dope. You can use this with other plugins if need be. There's nothing wrong with using the other plugins, but it just has a great circuit. It does a lot inside of just this one unit, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will like it. So if you want to go ahead and pick it up, I will have a link in the description. Go ahead and pick up Master Plan. And I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me and let me know. And I hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.